What's up guys, welcome to another Zeus tutorial by Jake's Cobra, and this time we're going to cover placing objects through Zeus. This is now, if you have not created a mission in Eden Editor using a blank canvas and you want to create a Zeus mission on the fly, or the guys running through your AO a little bit fast and you want to give them additional objective. And this episode we're just going to cover placing objects. Next episode we will cover placing AI, static weapons, that kind of things, establishing patrols, that kind of stuff. So I hope you're enjoying. As always, remember, if you're first time viewer, bash the subscribe button, bash the like button if you like my videos, share my videos around, much appreciated. And then also in the description down below will be links to my Patreon, my Discord, my Facebook, and also links to the Last Resort Gaming forums if you're interested in joining a brilliant unit, and also links to their public server that is undergoing a major revamp. Still Invade and Annex, but it's just way more fun. Guys, enjoy. See you in the next one. As you should know by now, the default button to go into Zeus is Y. So let's bash that Y button, get into Zeus. Now remember, this is only if Zeus is enabled for you on that specific mission file on that server. Otherwise it will just ping Zeus. There we go, we're into the Zeus interface. You will see it looks very similar to what the Eden Editor interface looks like. We're going to go map. Let's see, I do apologize, I'm very close to the main road and you're probably hearing trucks in the background. This is a mission file that guys still has to play, so I'm not going to show too much of this, but I'm running it on my local rig just to show you the Zeus interface. Now, as I said, we're going to cover placing objects. So what we're going to do is we're going to go groups, empty, and then we're going to choose military, let's say field headquarters. Let's go field depot. Okay, and you just left click on what you select and left click where you want to place it. Now you need to be careful because like these buildings, sometimes the ground can glitch into them and things like that. Now if you remember in the Eden Editor, we can mark everything, right click on it, come on, right click on it. Why are you not doing it? Just double click. Now when will you do this? This is basically when you got a blank mission file or blank canvas and you just want to run Zeus missions. You do not have preset missions or objectives in your mission file, or the guys are pushing through you. Let's say you've got a 2-hour planning on keeping guys occupied for 2 hours and they're running through your missions a bit fast. You can on the go create something for them to actually and how do you call it, additional objective. Now be careful when you place things like through Zeus. You do not have what I wanted to show you, the right click option where you can say transform to terrain or to map. So make sure when you move it that it's more or less realistically placed and things are like this. For example, this is not going to work because somebody can just crawl through here, for example. So make sure it's a little bit less versatile than working through the editor itself. So you have to move it until you find a place that is going to look realistic. Now, yeah, here you will see some things are floating and stuff like that. You always have to double check that if you place things through Zeus. What you're going to do is make sure everything is selected. Hold Alt and use your left click button and move everything down to the ground just to make sure what's happening there, that everything is actually placed properly on the ground, that nothing is floating. Like here, obviously this is not working. Let's try and see if we can place this a little bit better. This is your problem placing things through Zeus. Otherwise you have to move the AI there by accident. Mark everything, find a better place which is more flat. Okay, let's Control C that, or just delete it, and find a more suitable position. For example, that same field headquarters, we're gonna place it here, and then obviously just move it. You know what, just go field HQ, there we go. This is more flat, so you won't have that kind of problem, but always double check that your stuff is not floating, that it looks realistic. You do not have to transform, form, orientate towards terrain and that kind of options that you would have had before. Now, if you place things like this, remember all this is now dependent on your client side. So unless you have a very, very good rig, I would always recommend going to your modules, going to Zeus, add or remove editable objects. Now, remember I'm using Achilles, Ares Achilles expansion. This is one of that functions. We don't want to add anything, we want to remove it. There we go. Now everything that we placed just now will now be controlled server side, not via your own connection, which is always a better thing to do. If you just want to add the vehicles, you can add add the radius. We don't want to add all vehicles. There we go. Just the vehicles has been added. So the vehicles I can now use the Zeus interface against. That's basically placing objects. Like I said, be careful. Placing things with Zeus, they tend to float like this sandbag here. We should actually have fixed that, so let's add that. Let's add all. You'll see that thing is not correct. How did I fix that? I held left Alt, dragged it down. Just there we go. You always have to double check way more than through the editor, because once again through the editor you've got transform, orientate to terrain, snap to surface kind of option, which you do not have through the Zeus interface. Okay, the rest looks okay. So there you have a small little objective. Little bit of grass coming through there, but it's not too bad. So always double check when you place objects through Zeus. Now, as I said, always remember to do this as well, just to help them save on frames and lagging and that kind of stuff, to remove it from your interface. If you want to just go add, and we just want to add vehicles. If there was units, you could add units as well. Next video I will show you how to place AI and set patrol paths and that kind of stuff for vehicles and foot patrols. Anyway, there we go. So hopefully that gave you a bit of a heads up just how to do things. Now, yeah, I hope that helped. Very simple little video, but yeah, we have to start with the basics before we can get to more complicated stuff. So there we go, how to place objects through Zeus. Hope that it helped you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, bash that like button, bash the share button, subscribe if you're first time viewer. Guys, enjoy. See you in the next one.